Have you ever wondered, man, I can only do this if I went to school for it? If I want to make a motorcycle or a car, then I have to become a mechanical engineer, right? Well, technically, yes. But do you really have to though? Let's take a look at some people that did it without any formal education. Henry Ford, David Dunbar Buick, Enzo Ferrari, Ferdinand Porsche, and Soichiro Honda. What do all these guys have in common? They founded some of the biggest car companies in the world. They did it without formal education, just trial, error, and hands-on knowledge. Some might say, well, they lived in a time period where technology wasn't as advanced as today. That's true, but we have one thing that these old guys didn't have. And if they did, maybe they would have been foaming from the mouth. YouTube. Honestly, there's tons of information and smart people on this smart platform that can teach pretty much anything. For years, we dreamed of building our own custom motorcycle. When I was younger, my dad taught me how to fix my bike, doing the brakes, fixing that stupid chain that kept popping out, and looking back at it, it was pretty much the start of it all. My dad was always into cars, motorcycles, and since he was born and raised in a country where motorcycles dominated the roads, but there was one thing that stopped us. Every time we thought about learning to weld, we talked ourselves out of it. It just seemed impossible. But then we realized if we didn't at least try, that dream bike was never gonna happen. So my dad and I grabbed a stick welding machine, some scrap metal, and got to work. I mean, what could possibly go wrong, right? Let me be real with you. Our first few welds were awful. I didn't know how to hold the stick right, the angles were all wrong, and everything just fell apart. It honestly annoyed me, so I handed the clamps off to my dad, and he, on the other hand, did a lot better than me. This made me realize there was still a lot I had to practice. My dad as well, but he just seemed a lot more natural at it. But every mistake taught us something, like how to keep the stick at the right angle, about 15 degree-ish, sticking the rod like a match, and finding that sweet spot for the amperage. But once we got that down, everything started to click. There were definitely moments I wanted to quit, like when I spent 30 minutes on one practice bead, and my dad kept on reminding me, well, this is part of the process. By the end of the week, we weren't just building a bike, we were building confidence. Sure, our welds weren't perfect, but we did them, and for the first time, that felt pretty amazing. This whole experience taught me that learning something new, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to start. So if there's something you've been putting off just because it feels impossible, I'm telling you right now, just go for it. Next time we're doing the engine build, making it subframe and modding it. You don't want to miss it out. Hit subscribe, like, and comment, and we'll see you on the next one.